On tonight's North Fulton Prep Rally, a few of the big schools continue to run away with it. The Raiders of Alpharetta continue to take on all comers and don't mind feeling lonely at the top. Milton has struggled, and Northview hung 30 on the Eagle D. But how many points did the Milton offense deliver? Find out. And the Chattahoochee of 2011 is not the Hooch of last year, but don't tell Sequoyah that. They're not buying it. All these highlights plus the other scores and commentary from around the region coming up on North Fulton Prep Rally right now.
Comcast presents your source for North Fulton High School sports. This is North Fulton Prep Rally.
Hello and welcome to another edition of North Fulton Prep Rally, your weekly high school sports program where we bring you the very best high school action from around North Fulton. I'm Brian Wise, joined alongside Nathan Shutter. You can catch us year-round on Comcast Channel 25. We're here weeknights at 6, 8, and 10. And Nathan, it was a big weekend in North Fulton, so let's take a look back at what made it so important as we give you our keys to the weekend. And the Raiders keep on rolling.
Alpharetta defeats Roswell 38-19. Alpharetta still unbeaten and on top of Region 6. Hornets 0-7 on the year.
And the Eagles hold off Titans.
Yeah, big game between Milton and Northview. Milton comes out on top 42-30. Titans trailed 28-10 at one point, but kept fighting until the end. Just not enough there for Milton.
And Hooch title still alive?
Yeah, they defeat Sequoyah 31-12, remain in a three-way tie with Johns Creek and Lambert in Region 7. Lambert eked out a close one, 38-34 over Woodland. So all three of those teams still tied atop the region.
All right, getting more and more exciting as each week goes along. Let's take a look back at what happened this week with the highlights as we start things off at Northview, where the Titans play host to the Eagles of Milton. There would be a lot of scoring in this one. First quarter, the handoff is to Peyton Barber, who fights his way through the line and into the end zone for an early 7-0 Milton lead. Northview would answer right back. Evan Jacks screen pass to Terrence Upshaw, who heads down the sideline, blowing by every Milton defender on his way to the end zone. 81-yard touchdown. Game tied at 7.
Later in the quarter, it's going to be Barber, and he's going to score again, this time breaking not one, but 2 tackles. 20 yards in total for the touchdown. Eagles up 14-7.
On their next possession, the Titans would have to settle for this Peyton Erickson field goal. Milton's up 14-10 at that point. On the ensuing possession, Milton's Colin McElroy gives to Trayvon Paulk, who gets to the outside and into the end zone. Eagles up 21-10 at the half.
Third quarter, again, the give is to Paulk, who cuts to the outside and heads down the sideline before being brought down inside the 5-yard line.
Good hard run there by Paulk, and that would set up here this 2-yard touchdown run by fullback Kyle Lestrange, and the Eagles lead this one 28-10. Northview is not done, however. Evan Jacks back to pass, decides to keep it instead. He finds a huge hole along the left side. Jacks is going to win the foot race to the end zone, and Titans trail 28-17.
We move to the fourth quarter. Titans threatening. Jacks with a quick pass to Austin Antwine. He was all alone and into the end zone. Titans right back in the game, down 28-24.
On the ensuing possession, the handoff goes to Chris Purpura, who fights his way through the line and is off to the end zone. Eagles back up 35-24. The seesaw scoring would continue. Jacks back to pass. Finds Austin Rhodes, who stretches out for the goal line. Titans down 5. However, the Eagles would add another touchdown as Colin McElroy finds Ryan Jenkins on the screen pass. Jenkins makes a couple of Titan defenders miss, and he is off down the sideline, 80 yards for the score, and Milton hangs on to win this one 42-30 over the Titans of Northview. And Nathan, this is a regular season that's not been quite there for Milton, but can this team still make the playoffs?
Yeah, they're still in the playoff hunt. It's their first region win, but everything's so tight in this region. They're currently tied for number 4 seed out of the region with North Forsyth. Those two teams will face off in a couple of weeks. The big game will be this week against West Forsyth. If they can find a way to beat the Wolverines, that'll put them in a very good position to make the playoffs. And the good news is they have Peyton Barber back. That's a nice 1-2 punch to have with Trayvon Paulk in the backfield.
Now, how about Northview? They battled, but they just fell a little short.
Yeah, the offense was great in this game. Evan Jacks with a monster game for Northview. The defense couldn't quite shut Milton down. That was obviously the difference in this ball game. They're 1-3 in the region, but they are not out of the playoff hunt just yet. A couple wins down the stretch against Roswell and Centennial, and they'll be right in the thick of the playoffs. So still a lot to play for both Northview and Milton as we finish up the season here in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, that's a Titan team that fights. They're not one you necessarily want to match up with. Back to the highlights now, and we go to the Alpharetta Raiders, who are looking to move one step closer to their first region title. They would welcome in the Hornets of Roswell. Alpharetta with the ball early on in the first quarter. Joshua Dobbs back to pass. throws deep downfield to Carlos Burse, who makes the catch and sees nothing but green in front of him. Touchdown Raiders, Alpharetta up 7-0. Next Alpharetta possession, Dobbs again back to pass, throws complete out to Adam Schildhammer, who then gets the ball inside the red zone for Alpharetta.
A few plays later, Dobbs back to pass, fires a bullet to Carlos Burse, who goes down to catch the ball for the touchdown, his second of the game. Raiders up 14-0.
Roswell trying to answer the pitch to Andrew Quatang, who looks to get around the edge, finds a hole, makes a nice cutback right here, and will get brought down inside the Raiders' 15-yard line. That would set up a few plays later this 28-yard field goal attempt, and the Hornets get on the board, trailing 14-3.
Second quarter, Alpharetta would answer with a 39-yard field goal of their own, extending their lead from 14 to 17-3.
Later in the quarter, Dobbs back to pass, finds a wide open Jalen Simmons in the flat for the touchdown. Alpharetta threatening again, back to pass as Dobbs throws right and finds Simmons again in the end zone, and the Raiders are rolling 31-3 at the half.
Third quarter, Roswell looking to get back in the game. Ryan Monty rolls left, throws deep downfield to Bennett Barton, who comes back to the ball and makes a great catch.
And now we move to the fourth quarter, same drive. Monty with the pitch to Jonathan Harrigan, who puts it in the end zone. Hornets down 31-10. It's an onside kick attempt by Roswell, but is recovered by Grant Beidle as he comes out of the pile with the ball.
Over on the next play, the Raider defense would force a fumble, and Julian Lidback would recover.
And that would give Alpharetta another opportunity here later on in the quarter as Jalen Simmons would punch it in from 2 yards out, and the Raiders would lead 38-10. Next Raider possession, they would start from deep in their own end zone and would be stopped in the end zone by Alex Thomas and Joe Bartlett for the safety. After the free kick, Casey Culver drops back to pass, finds Bennett Barton in the flat, who makes a man miss and scampers into the end zone, but too little too late for the Hornets as the Raiders roll 38-19. And now, Nathan, Alpharetta has definitely hit their stride. Can any team derail the Raiders?
Well, this team's definitely clicking on all cylinders, especially the offense, putting up big numbers every week, it seems. The defense is playing their part as well, done very well the past, especially in region play. The defense has played very well. It looks like they're on a collision course for Region 6 title, but Centennial in a couple of weeks will be a huge test for them. That'll basically be for the region championship. If both teams stay unbeaten up to that point, those two teams, the winner of that, will have the inside track for the title.
Now let's switch over to the other side. Roswell's just not had a very good season, very disappointing.
Yeah, after winning the Region 6 title a year ago, the Hornets are 0-7 on the season. But the thing about this region is they're not out of the playoff hunt just yet. They're on the brink of elimination, but you kind of take a mini miracle. They'd have to win out and have some things fall their way to make the playoffs. They've had a lot of close games. They've had a couple blowouts, but they've definitely been into games. They just need to find a way to get a victory, kind of get the ball rolling, get a little confidence.
Yeah, that's what you need. Just a little bit of momentum, and things can definitely change. More highlights now as we check in on the Chattahoochee Cougars as they look to keep pace in the Region 7 title hunt. They welcome the Sequoyah Chiefs to the arena. Chattahoochee driving first half. Travis Marshall back to pass. He's going to find Will Johnson here over the middle. Johnson then cuts to the sideline and is off, one man to beat. Touchdown Cougars. They lead this one 7-0. On the next Cougars possession, the give here is going to be to C.J. Leggett. He's going to find a hole and he's going to fight and push his way into the end zone. And the Cougars go up 14-0.
Sequoyah would answer. Lex Laletta rolls out to his right and finds Stuart Glassick, who turns and gets into the end zone. Chiefs down 14-6.
The Cougars would add another score here. Direct snap to C.J. Leggett from the Wildcat and makes his way into the end zone. Cougars rolling at this point. Cougars again threatening. Marshall rolls to his right, throws complete to Will Johnson for the touchdown, and the Cougars go on to win this one 31-12. This season, the Cougars have played very well, but do they have what they have on their plate? Do they have the opportunity to win out?
Yes, they have a chance. If they want to win the region title, they will win out. That's the only way. They're in a three-way tie with Lambert and Johns Creek. They just need Lambert to stumble, which they almost did this past week. They have the tiebreaker over Johns Creek. So Chattahoochee wins out. They have the best shot of winning the region title. They have South Forsyth and Cass, which should be victories. You know, you still have to play the game. But then the big one will be at Rome to end the season. Rome is on a hot streak of 4 straight wins. Should be a good game there. That's going to be a crucial game for Chattahoochee.
All right. Time now to recap the rest of the Week 8 football action from around North Fulton. We start things off with the Tigers of Kings Ridge.
Big win for Kings Ridge. They defeat Pinecrest Academy 21-18. Bailey Miller was 14 of 20 passing for 168 yards. Devin Schmidt had 8 receptions for 129 yards and 2 touchdowns. Julian Champ's interception with under 2 minutes to play sealed the victory for Kings Ridge. They will be at home versus Mount Pisgah this Friday night as they look to get another region win.
How about Blessed Trinity?
A huge win, defeating Lovett 31-28, unbeaten in region. Davis Plowman's 49-yard field goal with 16 seconds remaining clinched the victory. Plowman had a perfect night with 3 field goal attempts made and 2 PATs made. Blessed Trinity went for 4th and 9 around midfield with 30 seconds left. A bold call by Coach McFarland, but it paid off.
And North Springs.
Oh man, this is a tough one. They lose to Grady 70-0. Grady is a top 10 team in AAA, but even this one's pretty bad. Grady beat North Springs 76-6 last season, so it's safe to say the Knights have their number. It's the 4th time being shut out on the season. North Springs will try and get things together as they travel to Riverwood this Friday night.
And Marist.
A big win defeating Dunwoody 38-6, avenged last year's shocking loss to Dunwoody. Running back Gray King had 78 yards and a touchdown on 10 carries. Dunwoody didn't score until late in the game, down 38-0. The defense held Dunwoody to 113 total yards, and place kicker Austin Harden kicked a 50-yard field goal and was 6 for 6 on touchbacks. Special teams coming up big.
Oh yeah, always, all 3 phases. Now let's get back to Blessed Trinity. What are the playoff implications from their win over Lovett?
Very good for the Titans. That win put them at 3-0 in the sub-region. They can lose a game to end the season if they want to. I don't think they will. I think they'll win both regular season games. But even if they did stumble and lose, they would still be in the region championship because of the tiebreaker over Lovett and Westminster, the 2 teams trying to chase them down. That would put them in the region championship game against most likely Buford. Probably not the team you would want to face, but you got to face them. Worst case scenario, they're number 2 seed in the playoffs, which means a first-round game at home in the state playoffs, which is what you want.
Yes, that's exactly a way to get it started. All right, that's going to do it for this week. Catch us back here on Comcast Channel 25 next week for game highlights and features. And be sure to like North Fulton Prep Rally on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter to see what's happening on the show. For Nathan Shutter, I'm Brian Wise, and thank you for watching. And as always, we'll see you under the lights.
Grab some wood there, bub.